Imagine being successful in your career, being able to live abroad peacefully and travel to a destination for work. Your papers are in order, your documents are all updated, and you face no issues boarding your flight. All you need to do is now rest, catch your connecting flight, and that is all. Sounds simple and rather nice, doesn't it? Except that this seemingly easy part became a traumatic experience for an Indian national. Why? Was she carrying contraband? Did she break any local laws after landing at the airport? Did she behave rudely with the airport staff? The answer to all these questions, a resounding no. Her only fault, being born in Arunachal Pradesh. I'm Kalyan Deb, and in this episode of Decoded, we will try explaining why what happened with Pema Wang Thongdok should worry all of us. But before we move forward, I want to request you to subscribe to EastMojo because your support means an awful lot to us. And also, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with your family and friends. Pursuing for months.
To a village of Assam
in the 75th Independence Day.
A major diplomatic flashpoint has emerged after Pema Wang Thongdok, an Arunachal Pradesh-born Indian citizen currently living in the UK, alleged that she was detained, harassed and mistreated for over 18 hours at Shanghai's Pudong International Airport on November 21. Thongdok, who works as a financial advisor in the UK, maintains that her ordeal began the moment Chinese immigration officials saw her Indian passport. According to her, officers repeatedly questioned her identity, dismissed her passport as invalid, and insisted that since she hails from Arunachal Pradesh, territory China claims as its own, her Indian documents were not acceptable for transit. She said she was prevented from completing standard procedures despite all her paperwork being in order. I quote, "They lie all the time. My statement is not an allegation, it's a fact," Thongdok told the Quint, reacting to China's official denial of her claims. She described being kept in a restricted holding area without proper seating or rest facilities with no access to food or water for hours. Later, she was only handed a packet of dry biscuits which she shared with an elderly passenger who was also detained. She was even denied water, and officials allegedly told her to use a dispenser located near a washroom instead of giving her a bottle. She said the experience left her shaken, not just because of the physical discomfort, but because she believes the treatment was directly linked to China's claims over Arunachal Pradesh. And this is the part that should worry every Arunachali who has a passport and wishes to travel anywhere in the world. India's Ministry of External Affairs has responded forcefully. In a statement, MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal said that New Delhi had taken up the matter strongly with Chinese authorities and reiterated that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India, and this is a self-evident fact. He also repeated the same during the weekly media briefing.
Regarding the arbitrary detention of an Indian citizen from Arunachal Pradesh who was holding a valid passport and was transiting through Shanghai International Airport on an onward travel to Japan, we want to say that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India, and this is a fact which is self-evident. No amount of denial by the Chinese side is going to change this indisputable reality. At the same time, I said that we did take up this matter. We did do a strong démarche with the Chinese side, both in Beijing and in Delhi, when the incident took place.
Jaiswal further stated that China had failed to explain its actions at the airport and that the treatment described by Thongdok would constitute a violation of multiple international conventions governing air travel and transit procedures. While he refrained from detailing the diplomatic exchanges underway, the MEA's public stance made it clear that India views the incidents as both a consular concern and a political provocation amid already strained relations. On the other side, China has categorically denied all allegations of mistreatment. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning responded to queries from PTI and said, and I quote, "Zhang is China's territory. The Chinese side has never recognized the so-called Arunachal Pradesh illegally set up by India. On the individual case you mentioned, according to what we've learned during the entire time, China's border inspection authorities carried out checks, procedures in accordance with laws and regulations. The law enforcement was impartial and non-abusive. The lawful rights and interests of person concerned were fully protected. No compulsory measures were taken on her and there was no so-called detaining or harassing. The airline provided her with resting facilities and meals. This reaffirmation is what observers say lies at the heart of the latest diplomatic confrontation, and this is what should concern any and every Arunachali who may travel abroad soon. Now, I know one person's ordeal at an airport should not really be a reason for us to declare war against China, but let us not kid ourselves. We have always reacted very differently to India versus Pakistan than India versus China. When news about Pema Wang Thongdok came out, very few media channels spoke about it. There were no protests on the streets and no one from supposedly nationalistic parties was found screaming. Because when it comes to China, we have in many ways accepted that we are never going to be as good as them. This is what needs to change and it should come from the top. It is true that China in 2025 holds global power that we can only dream of, and no amount of screaming Vishwaguru can hide the fact that the only reason China did what it did was that it knew India could at best issue a condemnation. China and its claims on Arunachal Pradesh may not make much sense to us, but this incident has once again highlighted that China has absolutely not forgotten Arunachal. Whether it is trying to traumatize innocent Indians at airports or building massive dams across the border, China's obsession with Arunachal and capturing it remains the same. If today China can stop an Arunachali citizen and refuse to acknowledge her passport, what is stopping other nations from doing so? And before you think I am merely pushing a conspiracy theory, just remember China's global power and India's global power. China's power today comes not only from its military or economy, but from its control over global supply chains, especially critical minerals used in smartphones, EV batteries, defense equipment, satellites, and renewable energy. Even countries that have their own mineral reserves depend on China because very few have the capacity to refine or process these materials the way China does. This gives China influence not just in Asia but worldwide. Recently, China also showcased its weapon system and military technologies during public displays, sending a clear message about its strategic reach. And through export controls on minerals, China has shown that it can disrupt industries across the world whenever it wants to. This is the power they exude, and this is the environment in which an Arunachali citizen was stopped and questioned. This is not about one airport or one region. This is about power and who has more of it. India is not helpless at all. We never were. All we need is to direct our focus on the right path and strengthen ourselves in areas where China currently leads. We must move from just extracting minerals to refining and processing them and reduce our dependency on foreign supply chains. Countries around the world are trying to do the same. We need to invest in domestic manufacturing, electronics, EV batteries, solar tech, defense components. India needs deeper investment, easier regulations, and better infrastructure in all these sectors, especially startups. It is not enough to focus only on borders. Power today also comes from who controls minerals, technology, and production. Even in the PTI interview, the Chinese official at no point apologized and in fact resorted to gaslighting by claiming that Pema Wang Thongdok was lying and that there was no issue at all. And yet there was no consequence because at this point, can we really do much? I say we can. We just need the political will to do so.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.